1,000%.
All right. All right.
I left my six-figure tech job to become a full-time content creator. Here's how I did it and how you can too. First, you need savings. I had 6 months of savings to cover 6 full months of my living expenses. Rent, groceries, Pilates sessions, everything you currently pay for monthly. Add all of that up and multiply it by 6. That's your minimum savings target. Second, mindset. To be a full-time content creator, you have to be intentional. You will literally be your own boss, your own scheduler, videographer, editor, negotiator, and manager. That comes with major responsibility. I suggest building that mindset before you make the leap and being structured with your time from day one. And lastly, be persistent and don't give up. There will be times where brand deals come in back to back and you feel like you're on top of the world. There will also be quiet moments where no inbounds come in and therefore no money for a few weeks. That is when saving kicks in, and most importantly, that persistent, do not give up mentality has to kick in too. Keep filming and keep uploading your own content even when things externally are moving at a snail's pace. If you ask me, am I happy with my decision? 1,000%.
All right.
Let me get this straight, man. You only had 6 months of living expenses saved, and you decided to leave a six-figure tech job to become a full-time content creator. Dude only has 6 months of savings. Because I bring this up because if you're making any type of money off content creation, then you could have been saving that. And you could have got that savings up exponentially. You would have had to work a little bit more, but then you'd have been way more well positioned, and you'd have had more time with on the content side to really see how stable this is going to be. And you could have been saving all that money. Man, you F around, you could have, man, hunker down for 3 years, maybe even save a little bit of your 6 figures. You don't have to live off 6 figures just because you make 6 figures. Save some of your 6 figures too. Man, you could have 10 years of living expenses. You could be able to imagine how comfortable you could be then. But a lot of people don't want to do the hard thing in order to truly get ahead. You think because you got 6 months of living expenses saved that you're ahead. You're not ahead, because that's really what you're risking. Because if, like he said, if you go through a slow season, or if the content ain't contenting in the moment, then you're going to have to dip into that savings. So you're just going to burn through it and end up having to hurry up and get a job with no money saved, and it's going to be urgent. 6 months can go by just like that. That's not enough to just quit your job and just say you're just going to live a content life. Or at the very least, if you're making anything comparable with the content, then you need to move to a probably, honestly, a lower cost of living state, or maybe even country. That way you can still aggressively save. And the idea is always to be making sure that you are saving money. And ideally, that needs to be for your entire life. You need to be trying to make sure that you can actually retain what you attain month after month, and that you're ultimately adding and contributing to your net worth. So I think that was a bad decision. But people, it's never the option on the table that I just work more, but at the same time, I'm getting further ahead and I'm progressing faster through life. That's never the option. The option is something's got to get cut. I can't up my capacity. I can't up my stress tolerance. No, just something's just got to get cut. And the older you get, the more you should be able to carry as a man. So you should be embracing adding more responsibility onto your shoulders, because it's ultimately going to make you more capable and more fit as a man, as a leader. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And it's really just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also, if you can hype the video as well.
So I normally do not come on socials and
Her caption says, I'm quitting my first job to focus on my content journey.
From my social media platforms. But since the topic at hand at work has been my socials, I'm just like, you know what? I just don't care anymore. And I'm just like so happy to.
She said the topic at hand at work has been my socials. Why in the hell is the topic at your job about your social media? That's where you already went wrong in my book.
my socials, I'm just like, you know what? I just don't try to keep work separated from my social media platforms. But since the topic at hand at work has been my socials, I'm just like, you know what? I just don't care anymore. And I'm just like so happy to be leaving my first job. Like, y'all, I have 20 more days and I just can't wait because this job has been so detrimental to my mental health. It's like crazy. And I just don't understand why people can't mind their business that pays you. Because
I
one
agree
thing
with
about
that.
it is, babe, I'm not worried about what y'all doing. I have never been one of them employees where I be like, oh yeah, I'm about to go tell on you because I'm trying to figure out like what you got going on. Like
Right.
whatever somebody else is doing at the job, babe, it is not putting money in my pocket. It is not helping me. It is not doing anything for me at all. It's not allowing me to.
I agree with that. Don't try to put your mindset in the head of a hater. Don't try to put your head in the mindset of a hater. It'll never make sense why somebody will go out of their way to try to get in someone else's way. And meanwhile, they're not successful in their own life. They don't invest that energy into actually getting to where they want to be. Instead, what they do is they envy people who are maybe in positions or doing things that they could never imagine or see themselves doing. So instead of actually putting forth genuine effort to try to get there, they will put forth effort in trying to sabotage you. And I never understood that. But the thing that they think that they're doing is actually counterintuitive towards the outcome that they're going for. And here's what I mean, because every time somebody gets in your way and creates a setback for you, each setback should only serve to strengthen your resolve. That's typically how it works. It's really energizing. And because you set someone back, now in order for them to correct whatever it is that you sabotaged for them, a lot of times they're going to get a lot of skills and they're ultimately going to become more capable as a result. And again, that energy is going to be the biggest thing when somebody tries to get in your way and you know it. So it'll be good. I think she'll probably do good. But yeah, I don't understand why people can't just mind their own business either. I'm really good at that because I genuinely just don't care about what other people have going on, good or bad, for real. I'm just focused on my mission and on my purpose. But there's a lot of people who aren't and who are very invested in what possibly you have going on. And then they'll take it steps further.
Pocket is not helping me. It is not doing anything for me at all. It's not allowing me to flourish. So I don't care what you're doing. But these people always in my business. I'm worried about what I'm posting on socials. And I need you to understand, babe, okay? I get paid to post on social media. All right? I get paid over $200 to post on social media. And I'm not a type of person to post my receipts or talk about my money because that's private. But baby, you see the brand deals and y'all see the collabs. Add it up. All right? I get paid to go on TikTok live, okay? So at the end of the day, I don't gotta go as hard as you. I also don't got kids. Like JC said, I don't got kids. I don't gotta go as hard as you. If I call my mother today, right? I'm in my 20s. If I call my mother today and I ask her, hey, Ma, can I move in? I have a room. I have a space. My mother has been begging me to come back home. Like, I don't need this. And I have another job. And I love the benefits at my second job. And I love my second job. Okay? So it's like, stop worried about what I'm doing and what I'm posting and worried about you. And that's why God will not bless certain people, because when you miserable and you worried about other people and you're not focusing on yourself or focusing on God, that's why you're not getting the blessings, you're not receiving the blessings. Like, for real. Because one thing about me, I'm not worried about what nobody else doing. Only thing I'm worried about,
You know, as possibly narcissistic as this rant is, she is speaking the truth. I'm always going to resonate with the truth. Now, here's what I like. I like the fact she's got 2 jobs and she's been doing her content creation. It sounds like she would keep this job, but it sounds like, I mean, her social media got exposed or whatever. People are paying attention to it now. It probably does just, especially if she's doing this rant right here. It probably is going to make sense to just leave this one, but she's got another one. So I can't be mad. Shoot, she still got a job and she still can make her money off content creation. So she's a go-getter. I respect that. It sounds like it's going to be forced, but she needs to be more careful moving forward. I think she showed one person, and see, you show one person, it's going to get out to everybody. And a good rule of thumb is just keep your own business, because then that mitigates all risk, just about, even though we're moving into the technology age where it's really no telling as far as if you're going to have your business anymore, because everyone wants your data. Everyone wants to know exactly how you operate and what you got going on, so that they can ultimately have that information to be able to target you. And when I say target you, I just mean to sell you something. That's the what we're moving it towards. Data is important. That's why all these platforms, they want to get your demographic. They want to know. And then I'm able to go into my analytics and I'm able to see the demographics of people so that I can adapt my strategy. So it can work in some context, but it can also nick you in some context. She needs to be very careful, make sure her social media doesn't get exposed. Listen, the rule of thumb I was going to say is, if you can't keep your business, then it should be easy to assume that somebody else isn't going to be able to keep your business either. So it starts with you. Just keep your business your business. If you can't keep it, then don't expect anybody else to be able to keep it. That's my rule of thumb.
Free, because for a minute there, they kept asking me like, okay, when are you gonna get a job? When are you gonna get another job? I'm so grateful to my parents for letting me still live.
So she's quitting her job for content creation. Sounds like she's talking about her parents and having that option, just like the other young lady.
Live at home rent free, because for a minute there, they kept asking me like, okay, when are you gonna get a job? When are you gonna get another job? When are you gonna get a job? And I'm just like, the real OGs remember when I was working at Domino's as a delivery driver, but I quit that job and I never looked back. I never went back to having a 9-to-5 job ever again. And then I started taking my content creating seriously. But of course, like, you know, older parents, they don't really understand the concept of like making money off of social media. But like, you know, as the months went on and they seen how serious I'm taking it, and now they're seeing me like working with like brands and actually making like real money from it, they stopped like asking me to get a job. And I think they're realizing now like I'm dead serious about this content creating. Okay, like please, I'm a boss. I'm so grateful to my parents for letting.
I'm a boss. No ma'am. We gotta remember that we can do 2 things at once. We could be working 2 things at once in this economy, and ultimately in this market, the way that we're heading, with all these variables that are very unpredictable and volatile. In this new economy, this new market, you want to have multiple pots on the burners. Multiple pots working on the burners. Because that's going to be your hedge against all of this. And if, especially your platform of choice is TikTok, where they continue to change their policies and all this type of stuff, which directly affects the content creators, and which directly affects the revenue that the content creators are able to bring in so that they can stop paying y'all. You need to have something else. You need to have some type of career profession, or just be doing some type of professional development, be getting some type of skill, something on top of content.
This is what I've been saying. 1.6 1.6 million followers, 500 million views, and this girl announces that she's quitting social media because she makes no money and she can't afford her rent. Let this forever shatter the lie that you can just post with no strategy and expect to live the glamorous life of an influencer. It doesn't work that way. This girl is broke because she has no product to sell, she has no engaged audience to sell it to, and she has no idea how to sell it to them. Her content offers no value other than light entertainment, and she offers no value, and that is why she's now begging for a job. This is not a difficult game, but you have to treat it like a business. You don't want to be an influencer. You want to be a business owner that uses content to sell their product. If you can do that, you can make an obscene amount of money, which is, I assume, your goal. Make a product that solves a problem, or copy someone else's product, figure out whose problem it solves, make content to attract that type of person, and then sell it to them. That is how you get rich. You're welcome. Follow me for more. Bye-bye.
A lot of times when they're like, make a product and all this type of thing, as far as creating a content strategy that then capitalizes off of the eyes in order to ultimately bring in revenue through selling something. Whenever they're talking about these strategies, a lot of times you see they'll try to get somebody to start a course or become an online coach. But what you got to remember is, what are we coaching? Because the people that he's referring to is going to be like the woman we just watched, who just moved back with her parents, that said now they're seeing that content creating is seriously. And her job before that, she said, was delivering pizzas. What's she going to coach people on? She ain't never got a job. She don't have no life experience. And so this is the thing. I mean, maybe a product, a coffee mug, a shirt. I think that's easier when you have a really core, strong audience. But understand, when people are trying to convince you that you need to sell something, you got to still ask, well, are they trying to sell something? You're in their funnel for them to sell you something that enables you to sell something. The only guarantee is probably that they're going to sell you something. Now, it could work. There's people who make a lot of money doing the coaching and the stuff like that, but it's like, it's kind of funny how it starts. It's one coach that then has to coach you to become a coach. But they're not actually giving you their niche. They're just giving you general coaching skills to then take a niche that you probably don't have. Because like he said, you're just doing light entertainment TikTok stuff. And then he's like, you need to switch it up and you need to do targeted stuff. But it's like, a lot of these people, they don't got nothing to target because they don't got no skill. Skills aren't just something that you just pick up like it's a quarter you found on the ground. You got to really lock in. So I think that's got to be the first thing. Apply yourself, get a skill, get something that you're good at. Maybe there are some that align with content.
I quit my 9 to 5 to do TikTok full time, and here is the update.
This is the 9-day update. We've watched some of her stuff when it was recent, when she quit her job. So this is the 9-day update.
Here's the update. Managing time to see my family has always been a struggle because I do TikTok literally 3 times a day. Me being able to see my family is something that I still struggle with, even doing TikTok full time. Also, one of the reasons why I was scared to leave my job was because of insurance. Everyone was telling me that insurance was going to be so high and I would have to pay out of pocket. I still haven't even looked into insurance plans yet. And now, because I have so much time on my hands, I'm still trying to figure out an actual schedule that I can commit to when it comes to live streaming.
I see a whole lot of procrastinating. See, this is what'll happen. I bet you she was on it. She was on point with her content creation and everything she had to do when she had a job, because she had smaller pockets of time that she had to be more efficient in, while at the same time she was bringing in other money from her job. Now she got all this time and she don't have nowhere that she's necessarily obligated to have to go. And I think a lot of people will find that their discipline will wither away when now it's on you to motivate yourself to get up. You don't have something external to where you feel obligated that you have to meet those standards. People will realize their discipline real fast, and also how bad they want it. Without certain constructs, without certain things holding us accountable, a lot of times, I think what people will find is that it ain't that easy to be this productive business person, boss, that they thought it was going to be. and you have to be a self-starter. You have to be self-motivated. And a lot of people, their reasons, when it really comes down to why did you leave your job and to become a content creator, what they're finding is it's not because you're ready to go so hard on the content creation and you needed this other time. The reason you quit your job is because you're really lazy. So now that you don't have a job, and now that it's all on you to make sure that you get up and do what you're supposed to do, those lazy habits start to come out even further. She talking about I didn't even look into insurance. How long does it take to look into insurance and just go ahead and get some insurance? She just procrastinating, and I guarantee you she's sleeping in.
To when it comes to live streaming, creating content, and doing TikTok shop product reviews. Main issue with doing TikTok full time is I still cannot get time to spend with my family. Solutions I came up with was to purchase another phone so that I can have a business phone and I can have a personal phone. Doing TikTok full time has been an amazing experience. I love the freedom. I love the fact that I'm meeting new people, but family is the main reason I did TikTok full time. If I can't spend time with my family, then I need to make some adjustments to my schedule. If you want to continue to get content like this, feel free to follow me. My name is Shay. I'm a daily live host.
So she did it to spend more time with her family. You got to know why you're doing it. Because if you're saying that that's the reason that you left it, but you're still not spending time with your family, again, there might be other problems. It might not, your job might not have been the factor, is what we might find, because you still don't do it. Again, you're just not making the time. You're not sitting down, coming up with a schedule or whatever you need to do. It's really just that simple. It wasn't the job. It's like, because a lot of times other people, it's like they're money focused, but then they're like, yeah, I just need to quit my job so that I can make more on TikTok. I thought you want more money. So keep that the main thing. Keep both. Make more money. Why not? And secure the money.
I am a famous content creator, but I am broke. Yes, I have over 3.2 likes, over 240,000 followers, over 5 million comments. However, I'm broke. However, I struggle financially. Even though I struggle financially, even though I broke because I don't make money with my videos, but I still post content every single day. Why? Because I'm making those videos because I enjoy it, because I love it, and because I'm not after the money. I am after the person I am becoming while enjoying and doing what it is that I love. I know at some point I'm going to start making money with these videos. However, in the meantime, I am not making money doing this, but I'm still doing it every single day. I still post content every single day, no matter if I struggle financially, because right now there is no money in my bank account. All the money I'm receiving or making goes straight to pay for my tuition. And by the way, if you want to help me graduate, link to the GoFund is in my profile. I'm sharing my story to anybody out there. If you want to be a content creator, you want to be a businessman, a businesswoman, you want to reach your goal, you want to reach your dreams, yes you can, and yes you will. With extreme self-confidence, extreme self-love, and extreme self-discipline, you can create, you can build anything.
Yeah, but you don't get to be a full-time content creator. You still got to make money. You still got to live. It's just that simple. You still got to live out here, man. So, listen, I agree. I remember when I was trying to get monetized on YouTube, you have to get 4,000 watch hours. You got to have like 1,000 subscribers and then something else. And yeah, you're working for free. It's okay to do that if you're going towards a goal. But it seems like he's reached pretty high. I think he just chose the wrong vehicle. But at the same time, you need to keep your job. You need to have money coming in. I get that you do this for the love. I mean, we all have things that we love, but that we still have to have a job for. It's people who like collecting baseball cards. Still got to have a job. There's people who like going down to the track and racing cars on the track. Still got to have a job. A lot of times that'll fund that. So if you like to do content creation, you still got to have a job, full-time job. Now I know he's in school, which is cool, but if you're in school and your focus is school right now, which is you trying to, attain a job, but then you have to have a GoFundMe to be able to pay your school tuition. It sounds like you need to substitute the content creation out right now, and you need to get a job so that you can either pay your tuition or at the very least offset the amount that you have to raise. And now you don't have to make such a big ask in order to get the tuition. If your tuition is $3,000, at the very least, you get you a part-time job and actually get some income coming in. Now, instead of you having to raise $3,000, maybe you only have to raise $750.
Okay, so the truth is, I quit my job to become a full-time live host on TikTok. And I'm about to give you 2 tips that helped me to make about $4,000 in a week as a live host. And just as a disclaimer, I'm not telling you that by doing these 2 things, you're gonna become rich overnight. However, I'm just gonna tell you what worked for me. I knew I was tired of working my 9 to 5, so I started treating this like my 9 to 5. Consistency is gonna play the biggest part when it comes to building your community and getting better support. The thing that I found to be super helpful was providing some type of value, whether that be education, entertainment. Either way, you have to provide some type of value to your audience. Otherwise, they don't have a reason to stay. If you're ready to take going live seriously, make sure you click the link below to apply to the Live Lab. There you will have one-on-one support, mentorship, band support, and if you need more information on what an agency even is, be sure to send me a DM. I am answering all the questions. Okay, so the truth is,
Yeah, you have to provide value. So you should always be investing in yourself, always be self-improving and all that good stuff. But also, you just got to put in your 10,000 hours like anything else. You're probably going to have to do that again when we're talking about content creation. You're probably going to have to do that in the context of still working your job. But just keep doing it like anything else and you'll get really good at it. It's really just that simple. The landscape will evolve. It also comes down to the traits that's within you and the type of person that you are, as far as if you'll be able to last through the changes and the shifts within the content creation landscape. That's what'll be able to decide whether or not you're going to go, which is ultimately, again, it comes down to what you're putting into yourself, always improving, always developing, always learning new things about yourself, new things about the platform, staying agile, again, professional development, content creation development, and you'll be just fine. But you also got to show up consistently. And again, put in those 10,000 hours. And then I find that you'll probably become pretty good at that. And you'll be good at anything you choose to do. You don't have to be a content creator. Anything you choose to do, commit to it, invest in it, and just be committed to putting in your hours. And then just know everything else will come as a byproduct. And also drop what's not working. That doesn't mean immediately. But over time, if it's not working, if something's not working, drop it fast, move on to something else. I think we'll leave it there for the day, though. If you like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, the join button's on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments, where it will show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, the join button's on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.